Have you ever heard a story so shocking, so twisted, that it makes you question how well we truly know the people closest to us? Tonight, on The Twisted Minds, we unravel the haunting case of a Newlywed Dubai bride whose wedding night ended not with joy, but with bloodshed. What began as a celebration of love turned into a nightmare that would grip the city and the world in disbelief. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to The Twisted Minds, where we uncover stories you won't find anywhere else. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Dubai is a city of glamour, gold, and grandeur. For young couples, it's the dream backdrop to begin a new life together. When 28-year-old businessman Omar Rahman married 24-year-old Aisha Malik, it seemed like the perfect match. Omar came from a wealthy Emirati family, known for their chain of luxury hotels, while Aisha was admired for her beauty, charm, and grace. Their wedding was a spectacle. Lavish chandeliers in a ballroom that glistened like a palace, a guest list filled with dignitaries, and music that echoed with joy. Every photo looked like a fairy tale, but beneath the glittering surface, secrets festered. Aisha had a past she thought she had buried forever, a past she never intended to reveal. But fate and suspicion has a way of uncovering what we fight hardest to hide. On the night of their wedding, after the final guests had departed and the last glasses of champagne had been cleared away, Omar and Aisha entered their luxury suite at the Burj Al Arab Hotel, a room overlooking the Arabian Gulf, the kind of suite people dream about. But that suite would become a crime scene, and the walls would forever hold the whispers of what happened between husband and wife when the truth finally surfaced. What truth was so devastating that it drove a man from blissful newlywed to murderer in mere hours? And how did one secret from Aisha's past spiral into the ultimate betrayal? That's the darkness we step into now, the real story behind the murder that shocked Dubai. Aisha Malik was not who everyone believed her to be. Born in Lahore, Pakistan, she was the eldest daughter in a conservative family. Her father, a strict patriarch, expected her to marry young and uphold family honor. But Aisha wanted more than a quiet life of duty. At 19, she left home for Dubai under the pretense of working in hospitality. In reality, her life took a different turn. Aisha fell into the glittering yet dangerous nightlife scene of Dubai. By day, she worked as a hostess at a luxury restaurant. But by night, she was swept into a world of secret parties, wealthy men, and relationships built on shadows. She became the mistress of a high-profile businessman who showered her with gifts and money. But when that relationship soared, she cut ties, vowing to start anew. When Aisha met Omar through mutual acquaintances, she hid that chapter of her life. Omar was everything she had dreamed of, stable, respected, and ready to give her a life of security. She reinvented herself as the perfect bride-to-be. Her past was locked away like a ghost she thought would never return. But on the wedding night, Omar's phone buzzed with a message that would ignite the storm. A former acquaintance of Aisha's, jealous of her new life, sent Omar a series of photographs, grainy but undeniable, showing Aisha in compromising positions from her nightlife days. With the pictures came a chilling message. "This is the woman you married. Do you know who she really is?" Omar's heart pounded. The trust, the purity he believed in, shattered like glass. He confronted Aisha immediately. She tried to explain, tears streaming down her face. She pleaded that her past was behind her, that she loved him truly now. But in Omar's mind, the betrayal was too raw. To him, it wasn't just a hidden past. It was humiliation, a wound to his honor, and in the cultural context he lived in, that wound cut deeper than love itself. The room filled with shouting, crying, the sound of glass breaking. Hotel staff would later testify to hearing muffled screams from the suite, but no one imagined what was happening inside. It was around 2:45 a.m. when everything spiraled beyond repair. Omar, fueled by rage and humiliation, grabbed a decorative vase from the table. The argument escalated into violence. In his fury, he struck Aisha. She fell, blood staining her wedding dress, her voice trembling as she begged him to stop. But the storm inside Omar had taken over. Neighbors in the adjoining suites later reported hearing loud thuds and cries for help. But again, in such a luxurious hotel, arguments between couples were often ignored as private matters. That silence would prove fatal. The crime scene investigators later pieced together a brutal sequence. Omar strangled Aisha with his own wedding scarf. The fabric that symbolized unity became the weapon of destruction. She struggled, clawing at his arms, but within minutes, the life drained from her eyes. When Omar realized what he had done, shock replaced rage. The suit was silent except for the sound of his breathing. His wife, the woman he had married hours earlier, lay lifeless at his feet. Still in her wedding gown, her jewelry glittering under the dim hotel lights, she looked like a bride frozen in time. Omar sat beside her body, shaking, muttering prayers, torn between love and hate, remorse and denial. He picked up her phone, scrolled through old messages, and saw fragments of the life she had tried to erase. Each message felt like fuel on the fire of betrayal. By dawn, hotel staff discovered the scene after repeated calls from family went unanswered. Authorities rushed in. The sight left even the most hardened investigators stunned, a wedding suit drenched in sorrow. The bride dead on her first night, the groom broken in a chair, whispering, "She lied to me. She lied." The murder quickly made headlines across Dubai and beyond. Bride killed on wedding night dominated newspapers and news channels. Social media exploded with debates. Was Omar a monster blinded by rage, or a man betrayed by the woman he trusted most? During the trial, Omar's defense argued temporary insanity brought on by betrayal. His lawyers painted him as a man consumed by cultural notions of honor, claiming he acted in the heat of passion after discovering shocking truths about his wife. But the prosecution presented a different picture, a man who chose violence over reason, who had every opportunity to walk away, but instead killed his bride in cold blood. They highlighted how Aisha's past, however controversial, did not justify murder. She had dreamed of a new life, and that chance was stolen from her. Aisha's family, flown in from Pakistan, sat in court weeping, demanding justice. They admitted they never knew about her secret past, but begged the court not to let her life be defined by mistakes. She was more than her secrets. Her younger sister testified. She was a daughter, a sister, and she wanted to be a wife. The trial dragged on for months. Dubai's media covered every detail: the photographs, the hotel's security footage, Omar's testimony. Crowds gathered outside the courthouse, divided in opinion. Some whispered that Omar's rage was understandable. Others condemned him as a murderer who should pay with his life. In the end, the court sentenced Omar to life imprisonment. The judge delivered a chilling statement: secrets may wound, but violence kills. And tonight, the court chooses justice for the woman whose life was taken too soon. Years later, the story of Omar and Aisha remains one of Dubai's most shocking crimes. The Burj Al Arab suite where it happened has since been renovated, but whispers persist among staff. Whispers of screams that echo at night, of shadows in the corners where the tragedy unfolded. Aisha's story became a cautionary tale, not just about secrets, but about the destructive power of unchecked rage and misplaced honor. To some, she was a woman who lived a double life. To others, she was a victim of a society that judged her for her past. Omar remains behind bars, a man whose future ended the same night as his wife's. For families and couples across Dubai, the case sparked uncomfortable conversations about honesty, trust, and forgiveness. Could Aisha have avoided her fate if she had revealed her past earlier? Could Omar have chosen to forgive rather than destroy? Questions with no easy answers. What we are left with is a chilling reminder: love can be fragile, and trust, once broken, can lead even the strongest to darkness. If this story shook you as much as it shook me, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Twisted Minds. We bring you the most haunting true crime stories from around the world, stories that reveal the darkest sides of human nature. Stay with us, because the next story might just leave you questioning everything you thought you knew.